As you create these tables, you may want to control to some extent how they get rendered or how they're formatted. Now, this isn't to be confused with formatting your document by using tables. For a long time, back in the day, that was a common way to lay out your table because tables or lay out your document because tables provide a nice grid concept. Today, that's not the recommended approach. You're going to want to use divs or other block elements and style sheets to lay out your pages. So we're going to focus on tables and how we can format them, not how to use them for formatting. Now we have our table here, and one of the things we may want to do is control the width or the alignment. The width is going to be by default based on how much content you have in that table. We've seen in our examples that the table is as wide as it needs to be to display the content. And you may want to have a little more control over that. Likewise, you may not want the table to be left aligned on the page. You want it to be centered or right aligned. And we can do that as well. You'll notice the asterisk here on the alignment. That is deprecated. So while it's available in the XHTML and HTML4 loose or transitional specs, it will fail validation in the strict, and you're expected to use style sheets for that. You may want to control the border, the lines around the edge of the table, the lines between the cells, whether those are horizontal lines or vertical lines, also known as rules. You may want to control those as well in terms of how thick they are, what they're rendered or how they're rendered, which ones are rendered. The cell padding enables you on the table to indicate how much space do you want to appear around the content within those table cells, those TDs and those THs. So padding is how much space is inside those. Cell spacing indicates how much space or how wide the space should be between those cells. You can control both of those with attributes on the table itself. And finally, we have the notion of no wrap. This doesn't get used as often and can certainly mess with the layout of your table. But one of the things you can do on a particular table cell is add a no wrap attribute indicating that you don't want the content within that cell to wrap based on trying to size the table, based on the width you've applied up top, or based on the width of the visible page that the client has to render with. Again, this is deprecated, but obviously available in the loose or transitional document type definitions. But you do want to watch out for this because this can, as I said, really mess up the layout of your table. You may want your table to be 50 pixels wide, but if you put a no wrap on a particular table data element and that element then can't wrap, your table is going to go beyond what your fixed width was, and it's going to throw off your page and all the other items that are around it. So use that sparingly or not at all.